I'm not gonna do it.
You will do as I say.
Listen, okay? I'm gonna get angry, right? You don't want to see that, okay? Look, this is not worth my time, all right? I could be doing better things right now, like taking forever to upload.
That is part of the problem, Raider. You suck at having a consistent schedule.
No, I'm not gonna look, okay, this show is too bad. It's gonna drive my blood pressure up.
Silence! Greet the audience and review the show at once.
Hello everyone, and I guess against my will, today we'll be taking a look at Kid and Play, the cartoon. At the request of my Chick-fil-A cow, we will be looking at one of the worst cartoons from the 1990s.
If it were a request, I would have felt much less strongly about it.
If all the problems but one existed with this show, it would have been bad, but I probably wouldn't be talking about it right now. So I am going to give you, the viewer, one opportunity in a 5-second clip to guess what the main problem with this show is.
Good, you can handle those pizzas, and I'm not touching them.
Yeah, what are people saying in this show?
Could you imagine if I mixed my audio like this show does?
Yeah, pretty incomprehensible, huh? And there's no excuse for anyone to really be doing this, but especially not two acclaimed musicians. Look, make music if you want music to be the focus of what you're doing, but don't have music at the cost of dialogue. This show would be bad if it were the only problem with the show, which it's not. So let's take a look at the pizza episode, because I'm a fan of pizza. So, right off the bat, there are, unfortunately, some live-action segments. And the sound is mixed perfectly in them for some reason, which tells me that it was a conscious decision to have the background music in the regular cartoon be so loud. Unfortunately, the choice of sound effects is pretty baffling. Why does eating pizza have to sound so disgusting? Psst. By the way, it actually was.
I heard that.
So, I think the show starts with the villains of the show trying to steal Kid and Play's truck in superhuman fashion. Oh, she should see a doctor. Anyway, Kid and Play are too absorbed in their own egos to notice what happened before it's too late. Kid and Play talk to a cop, and he says that it's probably towed and that it will cost $150 to get it back. And you think, okay, even in the show, Kid and Play are successful artists. Surely $150 is nothing. Well, that's wrong. Apparently, the writers misunderstand the people that they base the show off of and are acting as themselves in the show. So the catalyst for the entire plot is a misrepresentation of characters who are acting as themselves in the show.
But we have jobs. We're rappers.
They are completely aware of the mistake they made in writing this episode, and they just didn't care. They didn't care. So from what I could hear, and using my deduction skills based on what I saw, they got a job at a pizza place. Where have I heard this before? Oh, Action 52, that's right.
Make your selection now.
And the villains from earlier come into the pizza place. And they act like douchebags, because in the 1990s, every cartoon villain has to have a one-dimensional personality.
Pizza, pizza, come get your pizza. Wait a minute, here come the bad guy. See ya!
And so the songs are mixed perfectly in this show. It's just the main show itself that has a problem, which tells me that Kid and Play have very little respect for the medium of animation itself. They want the music to be the main focus of their show, which does not make for a very good show. So they get their truck back, and nothing of substance happens for the rest of the episode. I mean, this show was really light on plot. Yes, other things do happen in the episode, but really they're not important and they're just used to fill up the time. But this show made me extremely angry. There is no reason for the audio to be mixed as badly as it is when the show is being made by two popular musicians. And yes, there were other celebrity-based cartoons. And yes, they were bad on their merits alone. But this one is worse than all of the other celebrity-based cartoons on the simple fact that they can't even get dialogue right. I should be able to understand what the characters are saying in any show, regardless of whether or not it makes sense. Like, if the things that the characters were saying in this show didn't make sense, but I could still hear what they were saying, it would have probably been a better show. Not by much, but it would have been a better show. And people's nostalgia still seems to be blinding them about this show, as a lot of people tend to remember this show fondly for some reason. First of all, how can you remember a show fondly if you can't even hear what the characters are saying to remember the things that the characters said? And secondly, I doubt that Kid and Play themselves remember this show fondly because they didn't really seem to care that much about it. Now, the company that uploaded this to YouTube, or owns it, or made it, or whatever, is trying to throw anyone under the bus but themselves to blame for the bad audio quality. Now, is it their fault? I don't know. But what I do know is that in the form that it is most commonly viewed, there is a really big problem. I can't travel back to the 1990s to figure out if it was actually like this when it came on TV. But what I do know is that the way that I see it most commonly is the way that I'm going to critique it. Bad audio aside, I think the lesson that we can learn the most today is stay in your lane. I think the reason that most celebrity-based cartoons fail is because celebrities like Kid and Play and MC Hammer don't give a crap about cartoons. They just see it as a cheap way to make money from ratings because children will watch whatever you put in front of them, regardless of if it's good or bad. And that stereotype is what leads to the worst cartoons on the television. Okay, stupid cow, I did it.
Wait a minute, what did we forget?
Oh yeah. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.